Hey everyone! I thought I would share quickly how Steve and I are processing our American persimmons that we gathered. We don't have any fruiting at our house yet, so we have a couple gathering spots that we cherish so very much because these are one of our most favorite fruits ever. So American persimmons are these beautiful little fruits, but they can be tricky to tell if they're ripe. I know that they can be very, very, very astringent if you eat them when they are not ripe. So I haven't had to do that. No one played a trick on me in my life. So my first experience with American persimmons was wonderful. We just happened to be in the Hoosier National Forest and they were ripe and I ate one and I thought, holy cow, how did I not know about these until I was in my, 30s. So once we found that we loved American persimmons, then we had to figure out how do you know when they're ripe. And it's not that hard, actually. So this one right here, let's see. This point of attachment is called the calyx. That's where it attaches to the tree. And if they're ripe, they come off really easy. So that one's kind of in between. Easy or not. So then, you're not going to be able to see this. But I smell them. And no, you can't do that for all of them, but I'm still learning. We've only been making pulp for a couple years, and so I'm getting a much better feel now for ones that are going to be really good and those that might be gross. And so ones that look like this, that are falling apart and super creamy, are very fragrant. They smell delicious. The calyx is coming right off. This one does have a bruise. That's just from where it hit the ground. And so then I take the calyx off, throw them in one of these cone colanders, stainless steel. I had a tip from someone not to use aluminum because it will turn your pulp brown. And it's a really beautiful orange, so I don't really want to turn it brown. And then you've got your pestle, and so you just squish them together and like this, round and round and round and round, and then it comes out the base. Okay, so ones that aren't ready, if it has a sheen, I'm leery of it. If it's really firm and the calyx doesn't pop off and there's no scent, it's not ready. So sometimes I've found that they will get ready if you let them sit, if they have gotten far enough along on the tree. And I guess that's my other point, is we never pick off the tree. I know some people do, but we are not that skilled yet. And anytime we've done that, they're not ready. So we pick up off the ground. And we're just careful about where we pick. So make sure you are too. We're not selling pulp either. And so Steve and I just eat them straight off the ground. And if there's ones that have a whole bunch of debris in them, then we won't put those in our pulp because we don't want it to be real gritty, obviously. As you're processing, you will see that the caps, these calyxes, are gorgeous. Talk about autumnal festiveness. So keep them. I keep them. We sit them around. I make stuff out of them. Do whatever you want, but they are really, really beautiful. Here is a bowl of ones that I've deemed not good. And it's not because they look like that, because some of them that look like this taste really, really good. These just have a really funked out smell. And that tells me I'm not going to like it. Steve's not going to like it, and we're not going to want to put it into our pulp. So I don't throw them away. I put them in the compost or I make little piles outside for the mammals around here so they can move the seeds around and plant persimmons. When Steve and I are out collecting, we just use plastic containers like that, and this one here in the sink. I usually don't get to process the same day that we collect, and so we try to not get them too thick or they mush each other down because they're just delicate fruits. And so I'll cover them with a towel so that the fruit flies don't eat them, and then try to get to them the next day. This tree was very, very ready. This is an awesome system because you just keep going round and round. and then the seeds separate out and a lot of the tougher parts of the persimmons, and we always save the seeds to grow them. So how do you know if American persimmons are ripe? In our experience, we found if they've fallen off the tree, they're soft, the calyx comes right off the top, and they smell really good, they're ripe and not astringent. Enjoy! And here's what that richness looks like after I used a batch in this cone colander. And you can see I got it mostly down to the seeds and just a little bit of pulp left, and I'll soak those just to help release the seeds and then separate the seeds out and put them in the fridge. Look at that again. So you know it's going to be really delicious when you smell it. It smells awesome, and when you taste it, and it's even better than it smells. Well, what do you do with your persimmons? That is definitely a question a lot of people ask. And we love the persimmon taste. So we eat them fresh, constantly. And then we make pulp and we freeze it in any kind of container we have. So this one is a 16-ounce container, which is perfect because then we love to make ice cream out of it, and we usually use 2 cups for our ice cream, and I think a lot of recipes call for 2 cups. So we just have an electric ice cream maker, and Steve follows the recipe for our particular maker, and then we add the persimmon pulp. And it is our one, I mean, really, besides eating it fresh, it's our favorite way we've had it so far. We're continuing to try a lot of other recipes, but we've found that quite a number of them take away the flavor of the persimmons with too many other spices. And so far, we've not been able to find a persimmon pudding or bread recipe that we love because it takes away the persimmon flavor, and I would rather taste the persimmon flavor, and so we just tend to make ice cream. So that's it, folks. We eat them raw and we freeze the pulp, and I'm sure we'll come up with other things as time goes by. And if you have some favorite persimmon recipes where you can really taste the persimmons, let us know.